On Saturday, November 2nd, starting at noon, Kevin Williams is helping sick kids by playing video games. He needs your help to raise $1,000 for the CHIO Foundation. Donate at extra-life.org/participants/347875.
Lights, camera, action.
Welcome to Ropes to Reels, part of WrestleMedia, where everything is wrestling, and wrestling is everything. This is episode 95, part 2-ish, kinda. I'll quickly just give a recap there. For those who were listening on our Patreon, you know the story. I screwed up, essentially.
Is it bad for me to wallow in this?
No, wallow away, sir.
Good, because I've made many, and I will make more. So when you do it, it's rare to me, and I love it.
I basically got this week's movie confused with another Wonder Woman movie, not the 2017 version, because if that was the case, I would have just refused and made us watch that because it's amazing. No, I confused the 2009 animated feature, which we are watching today and reviewing right now, with the 2011 NBC failed TV pilot, which we reviewed over at patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca. Now, the Wrestling Connection, the proper one, the movie we should be reviewing today is that one, the 2011 pilot. But I felt bad because we'd advertised that we were going to be watching the animated one here, so I felt like we still needed to deliver with that. But if you want to hear all of the atrociousness that is the 2011 pilot, go and sign up right now at patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca, and for a measly $10 a month, you can have access to that episode plus tons of other stuff over with our patrons. So go and do that right now as we tell you all about some of the stuff we've got coming up for you at WrestleMedia.ca. We've got a newsletter out where you can receive weekly updates about all the best news and happenings as part of the WrestleMedia revolution. We also have the on tour section of our website where we talk about some of the places that we are going to be up and about, such as Renfrew, June 29th. We're going to be heading over there to Renfrew, Ontario for Queen Street Entertainment and their live pro wrestling event featuring Cecil Nix and Addie Starr versus Shane Saber and Alexia Nicole, who recently appeared on Impact Wrestling. And of course, June 15th, Chinlock Wrestling, House of Hardcore's Legends Convention and Chinlock 5 event from the Leon Center in Kingston, Ontario. All kinds of legends in the daytime: Bret the Hitman Hart, the Brainbusters, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, Mark Henry, Billy Gunn, Jimmy Hart, Tugboat Swoggle, Jimmy Corders, Tommy Dreamer, and who knows who else. Drew, can I take a guess on what match you're looking most forward to?
Yeah, go to town.
I bet you, if I was going to put any money down, you're probably looking forward to the main event, the House of Hardcore Championship, Willie Mack defending against Sami Callihan, the draw. I bet you can't wait for that carnage.
Yeah. I'm a sick... You almost. You saw it on my face. I was this close.
I did.
But I'm getting better. Anyway, I'm a sick bugger, is what I'm going with here.
Right. And it's going to be a great matchup. And if you want to win floor seats to that show, all you got to do is sign up for that previously mentioned newsletter over at WrestleMedia.ca. It's free. It's fun. Go do it right now, okay? Be good for you, good for me, good for everybody involved. All right. Let's jump into the second Wonder Woman movie that we're going to be watching this week by starting with a question, a very important question, a question that we ask every single week. Drew?
Hey, Adam.
Yeah?
What does this have to do with professional wrestling, buddy?
Absolutely nothing. I screwed up. I explained at the top what happened. I messed up. That's me. If this was the lasting mark, there would be a very infamous chant that would be going out right now. But
we're better than that.
We are better than that, so we're not going to do that.
I'm just going to laugh at you.
Okay, please do.
And then we'll move on.
Sure. Let's move on by start talking about the plot, the high spots of the film. So we start off very hot in this movie. We get the big battle on Themyscira.
The best intro sequence in a DC animated film.
I haven't seen all the DC animated films, so I have no point of reference of which to agree or disagree with that. So
it's perfectly
I'll take
fine.
your word for it.
A lot of them open up pretty similarly with the Justice League defeating a bad guy, or with a superhero defeating a bad guy, right? It doesn't. It's just like
it always starts hot.
Yeah, it always starts with the hero being a hero. It's pretty much par for the course, and then the plot arrives after they've been defeated.
Oh no, the plot!
Yeah, not in my superheroes. But this one actually starts off with a war where you don't recognize a person. They have to go through, they explain from the ground up what the heck's going on. And that's something you don't get a lot in these animated films.
Because Ares in this looks really different than he does in the comic books, right?
Yeah. So, well, because you don't actually see Ares' face a lot.
Yeah.
Ares has this is dope looking helmet. I love his helmet so much. Think Wonder Woman, the most recent movie.
Yeah.
Okay, you remember that helmet? Mm-hmm. Okay, add like 4 more horns on it.
Okay, you like horns.
I like horns. All right, then you can't see his face. Okay. You just see 2 red beady eyes.
Oh.
It looks like... Go to Google. Look up Injustice Ares. Because Injustice brought out the most badass Ares they could possibly find. They designed him to look like a god of war.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
This guy's good. He doesn't have that kind of like God of War aspect to it. He kind of looks like a West Side Story Broadway knockoff.
Now all I can picture is Ares and his cult against the Amazons, and they're just like
snapping fingers going in. Exactly.
There's gonna be a rumble tonight.
Pretty much. But yeah, he first impressions on like appearance is like, all right, sure. But then you get Alfred Molina.
I was about to say, Alfred Molina as Ares, he's pretty good. That's a good voice.
I'm
for
just
him.
talking about like the design. Like your initial impression of the design is like, but it's recognizable. So that when he shows up, you're like, Ares. It's not like a generic visual. So it's just like, it kind of looked, you know what it looked like?
What did it look like?
Have you ever seen Quest for Camelot?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Looked like the bad guy from Quest for Camelot when he had like bleach blonde hair.
Okay, I'm going to show you something.
Okay.
Because believe it or not, this comes back to wrestling. Okay?
It's just baffling me.
There was an episode of Thunder in which that villain wrestled. And I'm not even joking. Look at this right here. Look at this.
Hold on. All right, what's that?
That's legit.
That's it. But you see what I mean? Like he looks like Ares.
Yeah. You're right. He does. See, I don't remember what the deal was with this, but
that's phenomenal.
This Ruber was the villain's name from Quest for Camelot. Yeah. He came out.
That's awesome. How it all ties into wrestling. What is it we say?
Everything is wrestling, and wrestling is everything.
It all comes back around.
Sure does.
So anyway, the first impressions when you look at him, he looks like a dweeb. Right?
Kinda, yeah.
But then Alfred Molina brings it out, and then it's like, cool, he's a bad guy. He sells it.
He was my second favorite celebrity cameo in this, or celebrity voice that I heard. My second favorite. Nope.
Russell?
Nope.
Who?
Oliver Platt.
Oh, as Hades?
As Hades.
We'll get to that.
You betcha we will.
Oh, I got to talk about Hades.
I like the designs of the Amazonians. Everything looks cool. This was way more violent than I was expecting.
Oh, yeah. Like, I watched this. Oh, God, that would have been 10 years ago then.
Yes, it would.
That would have got 10 years ago. I still remember the first beheading. I as soon as I'm like, it's like, that dude's head's going.
You always remember your first.
No, that wasn't my first. My first beheading was in a Don Bluth film.
Oh, okay.
Because of course it was. But I just knew when the war started and the sword went up, it's like, that dude's head's coming off. I remember that happening because that screwed me up. I remember that for far too long. But anyway, yeah, it is gruesomely violent. And I think I was watching a documentary or like a featurette or something in Bruce Timm saying they had to edit back.
Yeah. I was going to bring it up in the fun facts, but we can just talk about it here. Originally, they rated it R. It was an R-rated animated feature because of the violence, and they had to pull it back so that they could score a PG-13. I don't know about you, but that's the cut I want to see. Release the R-rated cut.
No, give me the R-rated. That would be so cool. But no.
It's all right, though. Steve Trevor is a complete ass.
Oh, no, he's the worst.
He is the worst.
He's so terrible. And I kind of applaud him for that.
Okay. Do some backflips, sir, because you're going to have to really do some oral gymnastics here in order to convince me that he's a good character.
Oh, they didn't execute on him.
Okay.
But having him just be like the Cary Grant or like the old-fashioned hero who's doing the old-fashioned, like, this is okay for my time because this is my time.
Which it isn't, by the way.
It was never.
This is not set in the 20s or the 40s or whatever time when that would have been AKA appropriate.
No, but it's that character.
Right.
Right. And he gets away with it because it's Nathan Fillion. But she always calls him out on it. Always one-ups him. The only problem is it works.
Yeah.
They really should have had Wonder Woman, like they did in the animated series, just kind of kick him in the nads and walk away.
Listen, the only couple to have ever gotten it right is Gamora and Star-Lord, at least until Infinity War. But their relationship up to that point, that was the way it should have been. They're broken people. They shouldn't be together.
No.
Steve Trevor does not deserve Wonder Woman.
No.
Steve Trevor does not deserve any woman. He is terrible.
Not even that blonde I can't remember the name of. But no, like, that is what was needed. Like, I wish they didn't have to do a romance angle, but since it's a kid's show, and they had to, because every movie has to end with a couple getting together. But if it was just, she needed him to learn about the new world, and just shut up. Like, him being drunk, I thought that would have been, watching it now, what would have been a perfect turn for him as a character. Like, to maybe realize what she is pointing out. You know what I mean? But instead, they just kind of double down and continue on with like, no, what he's doing is technically okay.
I think what makes this also so hard to swallow and watch is that we've seen the 2017 movie, and it's how well it was done, and it's like, yeah, it really does not measure up at all. And yeah, it's awful. It's tough because he's supposed to be like a guy that we root for, and we don't root for him. I'm just like, I hope she leaves you for dead.
No, just...
How was she... it makes Wonder Woman look stupid. Because it's like, how were you convinced that you wanted to go back, or that you missed this guy, or that Earth was worth saving? Like, it makes no sense.
Like, if you saw Superman save someone and you're like, I could do that too. Like, you were inspired by Superman, then you go back and become a hero. That's awesome. Not for a dude.
Steve Trevor does not do any of that. He kills people. He's rude. He's the worst. He's a misogynist. He is the worst.
He's the worst.
He's awful. If Nathan Fillion can't make your character charming, give up. Just stop. Stop. Go back to the drawing board. It's done.
Now, if you want a good Nathan Fillion performance in a DC movie, I suggest watching Justice League Doom, where he plays Green Lantern. It is the best portrayal of Green Lantern I've ever seen.
Okay, there you have it.
Or heard, I guess.
All right, so Steve Trevor crashes. He's a jerk. They have a competition to see who's going to take him back to America. And they do this whole Robin Hood thing where they're like, oh, you'll wear a mask and then your mother will never know it's you. And I like that. I thought that was fun. It's a cool little nod to another piece of classic mythical? Is Robin Hood mythical? Yeah, it's fictional, right?
It's fictional.
Sorry. You can never know.
Did you know that like 50 to 60% of people believe that King Arthur is a real figure?
I don't doubt it. I mean, if you told me that, I would have been like, okay, I can buy
really?
that. Yeah.
All right. Sorry, continue.
He pulls a sword out of a rock. There's really nothing magical about that. It's not outside the realm of impossibility.
No, but then he gets the wisdom of the gods.
Oh, see, I don't remember any of that.
Oh, okay. You just remember, sword come out, he king.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just figured that could have been real. That could have happened. Anyhow, enough about me not knowing anything about history. I was a cool scene. I will have to say this, though. She takes the helmet off, right? And up to this point, Hippolyta, is that how you pronounce it? Hippolyta. She has no idea it's Wonder Woman under there. So you're expecting her to be like, shocked, or like, oh my God, how could you have betrayed me like this? And instead, she just no-sells it completely. Just stone-faced. All right, you're going, I guess. And I was just like, damn, I don't know whether to be like impressed at the no-sell job or to be disgusted at the writers for like, that is so lazy. So I had mixed feelings about that scene. Fair. But, the rest is pretty good, right? She comes to Earth.
Well, at this point...
America.
Yeah.
America.
Well, technically Earth, because she's only been in Themyscira her whole life. So now
but is not Themyscira on Earth?
Yeah, but she explores the rest of Earth.
Right. So, okay. So outside of the Themyscira. She leaves home. She leaves home, by the way. She leaves home in an invisible jet. Yeah.
I want to point that out. That has never made sense to me. It will never make sense to me. Why she has a jet? She can fly. Why Themyscira has an invisible jet? I have no idea. I do not care, though.
I'm going to say that whenever something like that happens, a wizard did it.
In this world? Probably.
That's what I'm saying. I would totally believe that it was like a curse.
That'd be the Shazam wizard that's stuck in a cave. So,
yes.
The one thing I want to bring up, at this point, it becomes very obvious it's not the best written Wonder Woman movie.
No. No, it is not.
So, first when we get Ares and Hippolyta talking and just exposition dumping,
Yeah.
I go, okay, I get it. Kids are idiots. You got to fill them in on what's going on. Perfectly understandable. Okay, you can stop now. No, they caught up. You don't need to treat us like, oh, this is just the movie.
Yeah.
They treat the audience like morons.
You sure do. Hey, this is a commercial for patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca, where you can get early access to episodes of your favorite WrestleMedia shows, get full uncut and uncensored versions of your favorite shows, and more. Don't want to hear this commercial on your podcast anymore? Sign up at our main event tier and get these episodes ad-free. Want to hear your own commercial here instead of ours? We've got tiers for that too. Visit patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca and join the WrestleMedia revolution today. So we get back to Steve Trevor's home. He introduces her to one of his coworkers who is clearly enamored with Steve for some unreason, probably because she has a...
Oh, don't forget before this.
She hates herself.
Don't forget before this, they had to put Wonder Woman in clothing so she would not be confused to be a woman of the night.
Right. They did have that what was a very nice scene between her and the little girl. That was sweet. I like that.
That was the most Wonder Woman thing in that movie.
I would agree with that. And even I don't know a lot of Wonder Woman stuff, but I would agree when I saw it. I was like, yeah, that's cool. That's Wonder Woman. Yeah.
Yeah, it's she sees someone just down
In
on their
trouble.
luck,
Yeah.
and sees a way to inspire them and teach them.
Yeah.
That is her thing. She inspires and teaches.
Unfortunately, all the inspiration and teachable moments are done after that.
Yeah, no, that's the most Wonder Woman thing you're going to get.
So they change her into the clothes. They take her to the office. She lifts the desk with her one hand and says, is this what you were looking for? And it's, very funny fish out of water. They go to the bar. Steve tries to get her drunk because he's the worst. He ends up getting drunk. They get into an alleyway. They have a fight with one of Ares' henchmen. She does the cool thing where she bounces bullets off of her cuffs. Well, I guess she tries to. They try to mug her first. Some thugs come and try to mug her.
Well, kind of.
Yeah.
I think they're just trying to start conflict to give Ares power because it turns out they're demigods.
Well, yeah, no, but I'm talking about because at first they get into the alleyway and a bunch of thugs come and they try to rob them. They mug them.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And Steve Trevor's like, just immediately, no bravery shown whatsoever. Here's my wallet. And then, Wonder Woman comes to save him. And then the demigod shows up and then there's a big battle and whatever. It kind of gets fuzzy at this point in time. So something more action, more fighty. Wonder Woman gets hurt. Steve Trevor has an opportunity to stop Ares, but chooses to save Wonder Woman instead. Do you remember? I don't remember.
Yeah, the basic idea is that Ares is weak because there's no war going on, or he's cut off from his power.
Yeah.
So this is the opportunity.
Does he still have the chains?
At this point,
cuffs?
At this point, yes.
Okay.
So he is vulnerable. Yeah. But Steve's like, no, dad ass, and saves Wonder Woman.
I want to scold you, but I have to admit that would probably be 100% of his motivations right there.
And while she's out, we then cut to Ares, who has escaped by also seduction. See, this is why Steve Trevor should have been, it's not an antagonist, but what's it called when there's a character that just kind of goes against the hero, but it's not the main focus of bad?
A jerk.
Cool. Steve Trevor should have been a jerk.
He is a jerk.
But in the sense that a jerk loses because he is the weaker Ares. Because Ares seduces somebody to help him escape.
Persephone.
Whereas Steve Trevor's trying to seduce Wonder Woman for...
And failing. Thank God. Wow. At first.
Yeah.
She does end up with him. Spoilers. Don't worry. You're not missing anything.
But anyway, just a nice little comparison between the two characters, why Steve should have lost at the end of this movie. But anyway, so he escapes, and he goes to hell. Mm-hmm. And we get introduced to a brand new Hades.
Played by Oliver Platt.
By Oliver Platt. Let me show you a picture of comic book Hades. Describe that for me.
Hades looks like a dude wearing Magneto's chest plate with a skull on the belt. And a human skull as a helmet with long flowing hair coming out the top of it.
I was going to say, picture Dracula from Castlevania mixed with Red Skull from Captain America.
Yep, that could work too.
So that's what Hades in the comics that we're used to. And then this shows up.
He looks like a mob boss without a shirt on.
You know what he looks like? He looks like the human equivalent of that golden robot from Futurama.
Oh, what a lovely day.
Exactly.
That's great. What is it? Hedonism bot.
Yeah, that's what it is. Hedonism bot. Hades is hedonism bot.
Do you know what's funny? What's freaking hilarious? John DiMaggio is in this movie.
What? Where?
I don't know. I didn't bother to look it up when I was doing my research to try and figure it out.
I'll take a look.
Okay. Well, while you're doing that, I want to talk about the hospital scene, because basically when Wonder Woman wakes up, she says to Steve Trevor, you're an idiot because you should have stopped Ares instead of saving me. And then Steve Trevor goes on a rant about how, hey, you know what? All men aren't bad, okay? And you're just refusing to see it. See, I'm not a pig. I'm not a bad guy. It's just that you're being a feminist. See?
He's the worst.
Guys, it's all right. The butthead said it's okay. I mean, here's the thing. If you're going to make that argument, which you really shouldn't in this case, given who is delivering that message, don't have Steve Trevor do it. Don't have Steve Trevor do it, because he is the worst example.
Yeah, have Wonder Woman come to that realization after seeing like a different kindness of something. I don't know, man.
At this point, you would have had to use your example. It would have had to have been Superman. She would have been like, well, he's not from this planet, but he's living here, so I guess I'll help protect it.
Well, he's not from the planet. He's adopted the planet. Like, that's even better. Like, this ain't my home, but I'm going to protect it. Also, John...
in that one sentence, you've explained that you understand Superman better than Zack Snyder.
Right. John DiMaggio played the octopus-faced demon that confronts Wonder Woman.
Right on.
Anyway. Oh, man.
Just happy when I see that guy getting work.
Yeah, no, that dude's incredible. His Joker is one of my favorites. I mean,
oh, that's right. He did do the Joker.
He did the Joker in Batman Under the Red Hood.
Yeah, another DC animated film.
Yep,
better than this one.
Oh, I could go through a list with you, buddy.
All right, so we have the big Battle of Washington, and the Amazons show up because
she was in trouble. I don't know. The jet sent for help.
Makes about as much sense as anything else in this.
I mean, the jet just kind of shows up and then just goes away.
Yeah.
So you have a better explanation.
Well, they win because it was part of the deal, which is very anticlimactic. When Hades made the deal with Ares that he would take the cuffs off, he didn't tell him that part of the deal was that he would be killed in battle. So, thanks for the spoiler movie? You spoiled your own movie?
Yeah.
What?
Not a good writing device. No. It should have been if he falls in battle.
Yeah,
he becomes a servant.
Should have. But there's a lot of should haves in this film.
Fair.
So, Battle of Washington happens. Wonder Woman defeats Ares. Everybody goes home happy, except for Wonder Woman, because, again, for some reason, she misses Steve Trevor.
The way to fix this movie is say, I saw the problems.
Scrap it from beginning?
No. This is a good Wonder Woman movie.
No, it is not.
It's not a great Wonder Woman movie. It is a borderline. It is. We have great Wonder Woman with Gal Gadot, and then terrible woman with Andrea. All right?
Yeah.
This is a good middle of the road because it still explicits some veracity of Wonder Woman. It has a little drip.
It has that one scene with
It's
the
two.
little girl. Two?
It is two. When the little girl returns and yells, "Hey, it's Wonder Woman."
Okay. Yeah. All right. Also, I'll give a point to the scene with Cheetah at the end of the movie. I was like, cool, Cheetah. I like her.
Yeah. What do you know about Cheetah, by the way?
That she looks cool, and she's part cat, so I like her.
Dope.
And that she's being played by Kate McKinnon in the 1985 movie, so I'm real excited.
Right? I was so upset this didn't get a sequel. This Wonder Woman. Because we got the stupid origin story out of it.
Needed a reboot is what it needed.
No. Because we got it all out of the way. Like, that's why I was so excited for Superman 2, because when Superman... What was it called?
When you say Superman 2, do you mean Man of Steel 2?
Thank you. I couldn't remember what the heck
Which
it was
we never
called.
got. It ended up becoming...
But we got his
Batman
origin, and I'm like, all right, that's an okay movie, but I'd like to see a Superman movie now that we got all that garbage out of the way.
Yeah.
And I would love to see a Wonder Woman movie where we don't have to do origin stuff. It's just, let her fight. Just... start.
I think that's what we're gonna get in 85.
We finally get it, and people get to know why Cheetah is awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So she got a point for that, but otherwise that's just kind of it. And the movie ends, and it's yay. All right,
It's good.
A couple of facts about the movie. We already talked about how it originally got an R rating, so we'll skip over that. Oliver Platt had to record his lines in New York and couldn't be filmed in the booths because of the distance, which turned out to be a good thing. When his starched shirt made so much noise, he ended up having to work shirtless.
That's awesome. That
and his
the character.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of fun.
Did he sit in the lying position with like his leg up? Me like one of your French girls type.
I'd like to believe that he did. Yes,
I will believe that until proven differently.
And then he said, "Piss off! 5 minutes are up."
Give me my $10 million.
You will not understand that line until 5 episodes from now, but oh boy, when you do, you will. Linda Carter, who played Wonder Woman in Wonder Woman's 1975 version, was approached to voice the goddess of Hera, but refused due to scheduling conflicts, which is too bad.
That seems to be a pattern with Linda Carter.
Oh,
when there's a new...
A lot of characters. Lou Ferrigno's always asked to come back and do something with the Hulk whenever they get a chance.
Yeah, but he does.
Yeah.
Like Linda... She tries. Like, it's not like she hates Wonder Woman. It's just, oh, crud, no, scheduling
It just never works out.
It never works out.
That's too bad. The film is loosely based on the first storyline of the second ongoing Wonder Woman comic book series from 1987, Gods and Mortals, by George Perez, Len Wein, and Greg Potter.
Very loosely.
Very loosely. What stuff did they get right?
They got the bare bones.
Okay.
All right.
In the sense of...
She
has a lasso.
She has a lasso. There's a jet. She gets molded from clay after a war.
Yeah, that is by far the weirdest origin of Wonder Woman.
But it kind of makes sense.
Makes sense. I get it. It's Greek. It's mythology. I'm fine with it, but it's weird.
I meant in the grand scheme of things.
Oh, okay.
Like she was born from Earth, like the Trinity wise.
Sure.
Like Batman was a normal person, died. Superman from aliens, and her from the ground. It makes a circle. Makes a nice circle.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Look, there's a book called Trinity.
Okay.
And it tells it much better than I ever could.
It's about John Lithgow in a great role on Dexter.
You're not wrong. But I wouldn't want to read a book about that guy's mind. But it's basically the bare bones, same idea, except real mythology. Like, think Thor in the first Thor movie.
Sure.
Like that kind of Renaissance-esque
right.
storytelling. It goes like real ham-fisted.
Yeah. Goes ham sandwich.
Very much so. And then Steve Trevor just kind of comes in like cool Clark Gable dude. Just throws everything for a loop. It's actually...
Nothing cool about him here.
The structural integrity of the book is very interesting. How it starts off real Greeky and mythical and all that, and then slowly builds into modern comic storytelling because she's a fish out of water, and it's also her build into the new world.
I'm going to start describing things as really Greeky.
There's a lot of dressing on this salad. Makes it
very
a little Greeky.
Very Greeky. What do you think it was the Rotten Tomatoes score for Wonder Woman? Wonder Woman. Sorry, I had to throw it in there.
I want to go with like 76 or 7.
Actually did better than that. 82%.
Oh, nice.
So I don't know what was wrong with critics in 2011.
Well, they didn't have much.
That's true.
Remember, there wasn't a lot of female-centric superheroes, and of the ones that there were, let's face it, back then, that one was the best.
Did you get a review for this?
I did get a terrible one, yeah.
Do you want to read it?
It's kind of.
Okay. We don't have a ton of time, but I just figured, but we can go through them real quick if you want.
Sure, this is Animation Wizard.
Okay.
1 out of 10, mostly tripe. After seeing truly awesome and wonderful DC animated films come out in the last several years, taken aback by the writing tripe. Wait, writhing insipid?
Insipid, maybe?
Maybe.
Insipid? Was
insipid.
Was it meant to be insipid?
It's insipid tripe.
Yeah, that sounds like...
Okay, that this film condescendingly decides to offer. Wonder Woman, an overachieving and somewhat unnaturally endowed female warrior, finds herself on the cusp of eternal adulthood.
I'd say she was crafted from clay. It can't get more natural than that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, that's kind of her mother's fault. Like, genetics plays a factor in it, but she's like, all right, I'm building a child, so, I mean, it was
quite
up to
literally
her.
From clay.
Yeah. Although he also rips into Steve Trevor as well.
Oh, good.
Man, making the kind of obscene jokes feminist overachievers love to pretend don't offend him, is your basic troglodyte.
I see. He's one of these people.
Yeah.
Guarantee you he's got a neck beard.
Probably. His brain doesn't strive much farther than that, and his role in the very first 30 minutes of the film seems to reach as far as his thoughts. But don't worry. What good would come from a mere man?
Oh, boy, buddy.
Yeah. Suddenly, without any kind of warning, in parentheses, sarcasm, the god of war escapes, and this is bad because he's evil.
Well, yeah. He's out killing people.
she stops momentarily to step out of her invisible jet and help a young girl who wants to play with boys, and the girls, want to play the boys, and the boys don't want to play with the young girl. So sad. The evil can wait. I don't know, man. Yeah, evil can wait. You help where you help. Anyway, he turned it off halfway through the movie.
I feel bad at how well endowed this guy clearly is. So secure in his manhood that he is not threatened in any way, shape, or form by a Wonder Woman movie.
Not even remotely.
Well, I didn't like this movie. I didn't hate it like this guy did, but, I don't have a problem with women. Yeah, I gotta say it's a jobber for me.
Really?
Yeah, I can't recommend it, especially when there's 2017 Wonder Woman sitting on the shelf next to it. I'm like, how could I possibly do that to somebody? It's bad. It's not bottom of the barrel bad like 2011 Wonder Woman was, but it's not great. There's nothing about it that I will look at and say, you really got to see this, or I really can recommend this. Even, the animation is good. So I guess if you wanted to watch it without the sound on and put like the Wonder Woman soundtrack on over top of it, yeah, okay, that'd be okay. But otherwise, I just think it's just kind of mediocre. And it, I didn't want to turn it off, but I don't think I'd ever watch this a second time. So I got to give it a jobber. Not for me.
I did watch this a second, third, fourth, and fifth time. I don't love it. As
Listen,
I've said,
clearly from Rotten Tomatoes, I'm in the minority here, clearly.
Yeah, I enjoyed this film. It takes me, when I look at the Bruce Timm universe and I look at what Wonder Woman has become in other films, especially Crisis on Infinite Earths, we get to see more of a, what's the best way, a well-rounded Wonder Woman, especially in the Justice League TV show. This kind of gives the origin that they don't give. It very much starts out with just Wonder Woman as an established character. Deal with it. We don't get the origin story. So kind of having this to tie it all together is perfectly fine because it builds to the rest of it. Now, a movie by itself, to me, it has even faults and even pros. I like the animation. I like the openness of the storytelling. Like, they make it so that even though it's stupid, they take it seriously. Right? They are loyal to what the original authors created.
If nothing else, they are earnest.
They are earnest. And you have Alfred Molina as Ares. You have Oliver Platt as Hades. There is a lot of sparkling good, a lot of sparkling bad. It's a mid-card. I think some people will find at least a modicum of joy. I mean, you did enjoy Molina and Platt.
Yeah.
The animation
voice acting was good. The animation was good.
It was cut at a few certain points to erase blood and beheadings.
Not enough for me. Maybe if there was more blood, yeah, I would have been okay with it. I don't know.
It's funny, you can't show blood, but you can show a head coming off.
What did you think of Wonder Woman? We'd love to know. If you're one of our patrons, tell us what you thought of the 2011 version, if that happened to be your poor, unfortunate lot in life. We feel sorry for you. But we thank you very much for joining us on Ropes to Reels this week. Next week, we finish off Superhero Month 2, the reviewing, with a movie that started this whole thing that's led up to Endgame, Iron Man. But it won't be with me. It was my pick, but I'm going to take the next 2 weeks off. I got something going on outside the world of WrestleMedia that I'm working on, and I'm going to have to put some of my focus into that until I can make enough from our patrons to keep it going full time. So, in the meantime, Drew's going to bring on a mystery guest. Who's it going to be? I don't know.
I don't know.
It's his call. So.
That's a mistake.
Knowing Drew, it'll probably be Tony the Tiger.
No, Mojo Rawley. I said that in the cereal countdown that Frosted Flakes was Mojo Rawley.
He's certainly flaky, all right. But until then, we want to thank you very much for joining us this week. If you'd like to help us out, you can share the podcast with friends, family, enemies, anybody who you know that loves movies, loves wrestling, and loves to hear people talk about either of those subjects. Of course, if you are on a platform that allows you to rate and review our show, please do so with a 5-star or above rating if you can. If this is Dave Meltzer and you can just willy-nilly hand out 6 and 7 stars whenever you feel like it, go ahead and do that. We'd appreciate that as well. Or if you want to support us in the biggest way possible, you can do so financially at patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca, where for just a few ducats in the bucket every single month, you can get access to exclusive podcasts, earlier broadcasts, and more of the shows that you love here at WrestleMedia. We encourage you to sign up for our newsletter at WrestleMedia.ca. Check out when we are on the road at WrestleMedia.ca, and like and follow us via social media on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all of which you can find at WrestleMedia.ca. Are you getting it yet? I hope so. That's going to do it for us this week at Ropes to Reels. I'm at Adam Conta.
That's F-Will.
And when it comes to Wonder Woman, the 2009 animated feature, which we really shouldn't have reviewed, but we did because I screwed up, that's a wrap.
This has been a presentation of WrestleMedia, where everything is wrestling and wrestling is everything.
Here's what you're missing out on right now over at patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca. They're in a boardroom discussing the new doll.
It needs so much buildup.
No, it does. It really, really does. And they're showing the doll, the Wonder Woman doll. And she's very well endowed, shall we say. And this is a point of contention for some people in the room. They're talking about marketing. They're going back and forth about it. Diana gets up and says, I didn't approve this. And they say, yes, you approved this. We showed you the schematic, blah, blah, blah. And she silences everyone by yelling, we are not marketing my... Want more? Sign up now at patreon.com/WrestleMedia.ca.